Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to another session of NSLB Live. My name is Glenda Woolfolk, and I'm the CEO, President, and founder of the No Sister Left Behind organization, and we look forward to a great evening tonight.
Yes.
And I'm Linda Factory. I'm the treasurer of No Sister Left Behind, and it's great to be with you all tonight and looking forward to some great information.
And welcome. I am Pam Walker, and I'm the Vice President of No Sister Left Behind. And I'm so happy that you've joined us tonight.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies. Tonight we are excited because we have the first Black female of Bakersfield, California, who is the owner of the Kern Valley Medical College here in Bakersfield.
Yes.
Her name is Shar Cole, and we're excited to have her on
Thank
tonight.
you. Thank you for inviting me again.
You're welcome. Shar, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Oh, well, yes. I am a mother of three daughters. I've been married for almost 30 years. I know I don't look like I've been married for 30 years, but yeah, but almost, been married for 30 years.
Wow.
And I love education. I love educating people. And so for the last 30 years, that's what I've been doing. I've been, educating and just trying to make a difference in the community for, the last 10 years that I've been here in Bakersfield.
Wow. Thank you so much, Shar. We are excited about hearing from you because I don't think anybody in Bakersfield, of course, because you are the first Black female that has got a college. And I just think that is so awesome. So we're going to start off with our questions, and I'm going to hand it over to Pam.
All righty. Again, thank you for being with us tonight, and let's get right to it. Could you tell us about your life before becoming the first Black female owner of a vocational school?
Yes. Well, before I opened a school, I was working in the emergency department at Adventist Health as a nurse. And so I was working there when, COVID first started. And it was a challenging time, because it was things that were happening to the community or to the world that no one understood, it was unfamiliar. And so I was working in the hospital and loved working in the hospital. But then, when when it got to the point where things started to close down, I was one of the first crew of the nurses that chose to stay home because my husband is high risk. And so I didn't want to, because I, didn't fully understand what was happening with COVID. And so I didn't want to bring anything home to him. And so I've always wanted to start a school, but I never had the time. Well, during the COVID, I had a lot of time. And so that's what I did during that time. So I spent those 18 months preparing for the day that I was going to open my school.
Wow. That's awesome.
Okay. So what exactly was your inspiration in opening a medical vocational school? I know you just said, well, I had always wanted to do it, but what inspired you to want to do something like that, to take on an
Well,
opportunity like that?
it started in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I shared my story to, a few people, but I would like to briefly kind of share it again.
Okay.
So when I grew up in Los Angeles and I attended Crenshaw High School. And when I was in the 11th grade, I dropped out because I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And by the age of 21, I had two kids. And so one day I was shopping at, I don't know if you guys remember the Fox Hills Mall. And so I was at the Fox when it was the real Fox Hills Mall.
Yes.
And so I was shopping at the
Hawthorne.
Yes. So I was shopping, and on my way out, there was a vocational school inside. This is when those vocational schools were inside of the malls. And so I saw the vocational school, and so I went in and I spoke to one of the admissions representatives. And I said, I've always wanted to be a nurse. Like, what do you guys teach here? So he told me, he said, we offer medical assistant. And I said, well, how I want to become a medical assistant. Like, what do I need to do? He said, well, the first thing is you need a high school diploma. And then I said, well, I dropped out. I don't have a high school diploma. What are my options? What do I do? He said, well, we can give you an entry exam. And if you score high enough on the exam, you can attend the school without a high school diploma. And so I said, oh, okay. He said, well, do you have time to take the exam today? I said, no, I don't have time. I'll come back. So I wasn't going to go back. But my mom, she's always told me that, you need to do something with yourself. You need to, try to better yourself. So I would always hear her voice in my head. So I made the appointment. I went back to the school and I took the exam, but I didn't pass it the first time. And so I was devastated. I said, oh my gosh, I didn't pass. My life is not going to be any more than what it is. I said, I don't want to just be a baby mama. I want it to be more than that. And
Yes.
so the guy, his name was Mark. He said, well, you know what? We have someone that tutors in these different areas. So, come to tutoring, and work on those areas that you need to work on, and you can retake the test. So I went to tutoring for about a week. The second week I took the test and I passed.
Hmm.
So I passed the test and I went through the program. The program then was about 9 months. So I went through the program and I graduated. Well, that graduation felt like a high school graduation because I didn't attend, my high school graduation. So it was a huge accomplishment for me. And I was so grateful for Mark that took the time to explain everything to me, walk me through the procedures. He didn't just say, "Oh, you don't have a high school diploma. We can't help you." And so I went on and I got hired on what they call an externship. So I went on externship and I got hired. So that was my first job. And so I had my first job at 21, 22. And so I was working in the medical field, and I would hear all the other students complain about their schools and how, the teachers didn't care about them, and all they, would see the students as being numbers and money, and they just didn't feel like they, really cared. And so in my mind, I said, one day I'm gonna open up a school.
Hmm.
Right. So I just said it. I was just like, one day I'm gonna open up a school. Right. And so
Yeah.
then at the same time I said that, I heard my a little voice in my head say, "Well, you don't even have a high school diploma. How are you going to open up anything?" Because always that negativity there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I worked as a medical assistant, and my first job was at Kaiser. So I was working at Kaiser, and I was working with all the other nurses.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember sitting back thinking, I can do that. Like what they're doing, I can do that. I want to do that. And so I would always ask questions. Well, what did you do? How did you become a nurse? But then that word came up again. You need a high school diploma.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I said, I'm not going to be able to get away from this. So I enrolled in a continuation school.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, Crenshaw High School had a continuation school that was in the evening. So I
Mm-hmm.
went to the continuation school in the evening. And so they said, well, you dropped off in the 11th grade. Why don't you just get your GED? Just get your GED and you're done. I was like, no, but I want a high school diploma. They said, well, it's going to take you a year because, you have a whole year to go. And I said, that's okay. But, I want a high school diploma. And so I started that process, but I didn't complete it. And then life just, at that moment, I felt like no one cared. I felt like I wasn't smart enough, or I wasn't good enough to do it. And so we were relocated to Bakersfield.
Mm-hmm.
So we relocated. And so I met this lady that she worked at Bakersfield College, and she told me about their nursing program. And so I would go up there and I'll talk to the counselors, and they kept saying, well, you need a high school diploma. And I said, I just, everywhere I go, I need a high school diploma. And
Yes.
so then I enrolled in Bakersfield Adult School. And so it took me a year. And so I received my high school diploma. And so I said, okay, I have my high school diploma. Now what am I going to do? And so then I went back to BC and I said, well, I have my high school diploma. Now can I do it? It was like, yeah, but you have all these prerequisites to take. I thought, I'm never going to get done with this because it's always something. So I proceeded to take the prerequisites. And then I got accepted into the nursing program. So I did the nursing program. And I've always had a desire to teach. So I started teaching at the local vocational schools around town. Well, I didn't like the way they treated the students because I remember when I was working at my first job, and those young girls would tell me they never cared about us at school. They only saw us as a number. Well, when I worked at these schools around town, that was true. I said, oh my, they really do. And so I was working at one particular school, and they wanted me to do something that I felt that was unethical. And then I said it again. I'm going to open my own school.
Right.
Right. So I said it again. And
Speak it.
so I said, wow. And so I said, wow, I haven't said that in, a long time. And so I started to look into it. So I started looking into, what I need to do to open a school, but the state required so much and it was expensive. So I said, okay, well, I can't do that. So I went on after I got my LVN degree. And I said, well, I wanted to do something in education. And so I talked to a counselor and they said, well, you have to go back to school. I'm like, you have to go to school to do everything. So I enrolled in school. I got my bachelor's degree. I went to the University of Laverne and I got my bachelor's degree. And I wanted to do something else in upper management. And they said, well, you have to go back to school. You can't do anything in upper management without a master's degree. And I said, I have to go back to school. And so then I went back to school and then I received my master's degree. And then during all that time, it was the talk about everything closing down, and things were closing and, so I was like, wow, things were closing. What am I going to do? And so I said, let me see what I need to do to open a school. So there wasn't a blueprint for me. I couldn't call, another school and say, how do I open up a school? And so I spent that time researching on how to do it. And so everything just started to fall into place. And so I said, well, I want to open a school because I want to make a difference in people's life. I want to do for someone what Mark did for me. I want to be that inspiration for someone. I want to make it affordable. I want to make it where it's for everyone. And when you're done, I'm going to help you find a job and you're going to be debt free. So those were the things that I wanted to do. And so I began to research it. And, there was a process. And so I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go through the process. I said, so when the pandemic is over, then I'll have all the paperwork done. So I started filling out applications to get approval for different things. And so I started getting like approvals, it took a while, but I started getting approvals like for like accreditation. And so then I said, okay, so I offered my first class on Zoom. I didn't know how to work Zoom. And so I advertised the class that I was taking. I was teaching. It was a medical assistant refresher class. Now, this class was only supposed to be on Saturdays. So I advertised it on Facebook and I got 3 students. The 3 students were one was from Indiana, another one lived in the Bay Area, and then the third student was in Los Angeles. And so those my first 3 students on Zoom. And so I taught the class. It was a real like short class, maybe a 5-week class. And so I taught the class. And so then I said, okay, I think I need a building. Yeah, 'cause, I want to expand. So I went out, I started looking for buildings and everything was so expensive. And so the students would tell me how I inspired them. Like, oh my gosh, you care, you really inspired me. And so I was like, yeah, I want to do that for everyone. And so I found a shared office space. And the manager let me have this shared office space. And so then I said, okay, I just need it on Saturdays. And so I started advertising again for this class that was only going to take place on Saturdays. And so my first day of class was July 11th of 2000. And so I advertised the whole entire year. So when July 11th came, I had 12 people. And so I said, oh, wow, I have 12 people. Well, I had a couple of students that worked in the field. I had a couple of students that they were teen moms that didn't feel that they can make it. I had just a variety of students from different backgrounds, and I thought this was me. Like I can identify with these
Yes.
students. Like, oh my, like this is me. Like this is me, the one that had the baby, and no one thought she was going to be anything, and she thought she was just going to be a baby mama and not ever be anything. I was just like, I identified with her. I identified with the students. And
Yes.
so then I said, I told them, I said, I want to make a difference. I told them, I said, I can't promise you a job, but I can promise you that I will give 100% in teaching you the skills that you need in order to get a job. So I made that my mission. And so so I worked during the day. So I had another job. I worked during the day and I taught this class on Saturday. So one of the girls in the class said, my sister is interested, but she can't work. She can't come to class on Saturdays. Have what about opening it up, during the week? I said, I said, that may, I thought about that, but let me look into it. And so I opened it up in the evenings, Mondays through Thursdays, 5:30 to 9. And so I had my second class in October. This time I had almost 15 students. And so I said, wow, well, the same type of students. The ones that didn't want to be baby mamas, the ones that worked in the fields, the ones that dropped out of high school, the ones, so I felt like that God was sending these people to me, right? These people that that saw themselves as being underdogs. I felt like God was sending these people to me. And so so something that started on the weekend ended up just kind of growing. And then we outgrew the building that we were in. So we were in a shared space. Well, I started getting so many students, we start to outgrow the space.
Wow.
And I was inspired because my past and just knowing that I can make a difference. I mean, you can't save everybody, but I knew that I could make a difference in one person's life. I said, if I can make a difference in one person's life, if I could be their mark, then I know that I made a difference. And so that had always inspired me to help someone, to make a difference in someone's life. The person that always felt like they were the underdog. I'm like, if you think you're an underdog and you dropped out of high school and you have kids and you don't think you're going to make it, come see me.
Yes.
Come see me because I can prove to you that you can.
Yes.
Like you can make it. And
Yes,
so
you
that
can.
has been my inspiration all this time. Like my looking back at my past and wanting to make that same difference that changed my life. I wanted to make that difference in someone else's life. I know that was long, but that was what inspired
Absolutely.
me.
Well, you are definitely the definition of determination and perseverance.
Yes.
You are definitely that definition. And I didn't know that we were crosstown rivals. Miss Glenda didn't tell me that. I'm a Washington High general.
Crenshaw.
Yeah.
Yes.
She didn't tell me that.
Crenshaw, my blue and gold.
Yeah, okay. I'll just okay, so on to our third question, and that is what types of certificates are needed for your medical No, what type of certificates are offered by your medical college?
Okay, so we have um, medical assistant. Medical assistant is 17 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that 17 weeks, you get your certificate of completion, externship, and you get certified. With all my programs, when you leave me, you're certified.
Certified.
We
Okay.
have EKG technician, which is 5 weeks. Medical billing and coding is 20 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Beginning in January, February of next year, we will have a CNA
Okay.
program, and
Great.
we will have phlebotomy. All
Oh,
those
okay.
programs will come with a certification,
Mm-hmm.
and we also assist with job placement. Right now, we have a 96% job placement.
So
So
just about
all of our,
everybody.
yes,
Everybody.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
everyone is getting hired on extern.
And just for those who may not know, could you explain what CNA is, or phlebotomist, or the person who does the coding? And
Okay.
if you know, maybe starting salaries for those vocations
So for a medical
or occupation.
assistant, so for medical assistants, you will work in a doctor's office setting. You will
Mm-hmm.
assist the doctor. As a medical assistant, you learn front, so you learn how to be a receptionist, and you also learn how to work in the back office as a medical assistant, assisting the doctors, giving injections, helping, doing trade, setting up trays, and just kind of helping the doctor with the physicals. It
Mm-hmm.
all depends on where you work. So I can't really give you a pay because it all depends on where you work.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
some places may start you off at 15, some may start you off at 18. It all depends on the place.
Mm-hmm.
The medical insurance billing and coding. So if you want to go in the medical field, but you don't want to see the blood and you don't want to work directly with the patient, but you want to be in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
So medical billing and coding, what this is once the doctor sees the patient, well, the doctor want to get paid, right? So all of that, all the paperwork and the diagnosis and everything that came from the doctor, they give to this medical billing and coding person, and they
Mm-hmm.
bill the insurance so the doctor can get paid.
Okay.
So that's what they do. The doctor get paid, you get paid. So they are the people that bring in the money that
Mm-hmm.
that builds the insurance company so the doctor can get paid.
Mm-hmm.
A CNA is a certified nursing assistant,
Mm-hmm.
and they work primarily with elderly patients in rehab, convalescent type of environment.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like working with the geriatric population, then CNA will be a great program for you. The program will be 8 weeks, which will also include, your clinicals, and include, books and everything that you need within that program.
Mm-hmm.
The EKG technician, this program is for someone that has medical experience, but they want to advance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so an example would be is if you a medical EKG technician or monitor tech work at a hospital setting. They usually work 12-hour shifts, 3 days a week, and
Wow.
they sit in a room. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be on the floor where the patient is, but they have like different computers that's monitoring patients' their
Mm-hmm.
heart rhythms.
Mm-hmm.
And if something is abnormal, they call the floor to tell the nurse that something is abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they do. Um, that program, anyone can enroll in that program, but it's easier if you already have medical background.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is an accelerated program, if you don't have medical experience, then it may be quite challenging for you.
Mm-hmm.
Then for CPR in the healthcare profession, everyone has to be CPR certified through American Heart Association.
Mm-hmm.
So we are a BLS, Basic Life Support CPR Training Center. So if you need a CPR card for healthcare providers, or you need it renewed, we are now a training center for that. So it is open to anyone that needs it.
Mm-hmm.
to get their renewal or to get their new certification as a CPR certified healthcare professional.
Yes. And the phlebotomist?
Phlebotomy.
Yes.
Phlebotomy works in a lab. And so there are the people that when doctor order different labs and you go and they draw your blood. So they draw your blood for different diagnostic testing. And so all they do is not all that they do, but they draw blood. They take different samples from the patient. It may be urine sample or a sputum sample or a stool sample, and they collect it from the patient to be examined to see if there's any type of diseases or any infection going on.
And the pay is pretty good for that. Am I correct?
So, like I said, again, it just depends on where you work. Out of all of the programs that I offer, I think phlebotomists probably start off paying the most. I'll say that. I will say they will probably start off making the most money.
Yes.
But I don't like to get into, pay scales.
Yeah, I understand.
Because it varies, from place to place. And so I don't want anyone to say, well, Shar said I'm going to make $18 an hour.
Right. But the thing about it is you can travel. You don't only have to be assigned to a hospital or a clinic.
Right.
Yeah, there are many opportunities.
Right. And so with the certification that they get, it's nationally. So they can move anywhere. So they can decide to move to Texas and they'll still be okay with their certification because it's nationwide.
Right. Great. Yes. Thank you for that. Miss Glenda, do you have anything? Questions? You're muted.
You know what I do, Pam? I have the other three. Good conversation. I'm loving it. The fourth question we have for you tonight, Shar, is what was the most difficult part of opening your medical college?
The most difficult, there was a couple of things. The first thing is trying to start a business in the middle of a pandemic. What was I thinking? So that definitely was a challenge because all the offices and all the different things I need, they were closed.
Right.
And so a lot of places they were working remotely or, through email. So that was a challenge. The other challenge was I didn't know what I was doing, and so I had to learn the process by myself. It was definitely trial and error, because I've never opened a school before,
right.
And so just trying to make sure that I had all the correct certifications and the correct accreditation was a challenge because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then the third challenge was I'm not a salesperson, and so you have to do a lot of marketing. And so when I would talk to people and they'll say no, when I first started, when I talk to people and they say no, then it was no. I'm like, okay, okay, and so I was thinking, so how it's going to be a challenge. How do I, how do I get my school to grow? What makes me different than all the other schools here? And so that was a challenge.
Yeah.
Trying to, to recruit people.
Yeah.
So back then it's not, I mean, I don't mind talking about it now, but then it was a challenge for me because I wasn't a salesperson. If you told me no, it was no.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm going to ask you, I'm add on a little bit to that question. Did you encounter any obstacles?
I did. And so, what I learned early on is this. Everyone that's not tied to your vision, then they want to see you fail. So there was a lot of negativity. There was a lot of, just a lot of different things, coming from friends, coming from family, there were, you know, a lot of negativity. And so that was like some of the hardest things, because these are the people you want to support you.
Right.
But I had to realize is they don't see the bigger picture. They don't see it, you know? And so trying to do something positive when you're living in such impositive or imperfect world is challenging.
Yeah.
And so I think that was one of my biggest obstacles, you know, people not believing, you know. And I talked about the vision. I mean, I spoke it into existence, but before it actually happened, I remember back in 2019, Pastor Marissa Banks. She's a really good friend of mine, and from time to time, you know, she'll call and check on me and see how I'm doing. So one day she called me and I said, Pastor Marissa, I'm going to open a school. She said, "You are?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm going to open a school." I said, "It's going to be on Saturdays and I want to use your facility."
You throwing in on her?
Yes. I said, "I want to," well, I said, "Can I rent one of your classrooms?" Because, you know, they have the school over there in Compassion. I said, "Can I rent one of your classrooms for a Saturday?" And she said, "Well, let me talk to the board and I'll get back to you." So she called me a couple of weeks later. She said, "The board said yes." You know, and so she was, you know, one of the first people that I told about it. And so all the negativity that I was getting, you know, sometimes all you need is that one positive
That's
person.
right. Yeah.
And she was like, "Do it. Yeah, you can use the building. Yeah, don't, you know." And so I thought, wow, okay, I'm gonna do it. You know, so I didn't let the negativity get to me.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Sure. Wow, that's good. Okay, our fifth question. If someone is interested in attending your vocational college, what steps would they need to take?
So if you're interested, first you call, because we want everyone to come in to tour the campus. We want you to see what you're getting. You know, you can also visit a classroom, you know, and to see what's happening. You know, we want you to want you to be a part of your education and the choice that you make, because we may not be for everyone. Okay. So first, what we'd like to do is have you call the school 661-843-7711. Make an appointment to tour. Once you tour, we sit down and I find out, you know, what is it that you want to do? You know, what program are you interested in? If you do not have a high school diploma, then we administer this test. It's called the Wonderlic, and you have to score at least a 70% overall. And if you pass that test, then we can prepare you for the next class that starts. So we have classes starting every like third month on a Monday. And so if you take the test and you pass before, you know, the start date, then you can start on that Monday. If not, you will have to wait till the following month on that third Monday to start. But if you have a high school diploma and you know you're ready to start your career, you come, you still have to tour, and we will prepare you to start, you know, either that third week or that next month. So, I mean, we welcome, you know, anyone to come by and visit. I encourage you to visit other schools. You know, I want you to make a sound decision, you know. So I want you to visit other schools and see if we're a good fit for you. Everyone cannot um, thrive in accelerated environment. Our programs are accelerated. Some people may need the extra 9 months. You know, they may not, 17 weeks may be too fast. Well, that's something I want you to determine before you enroll. And so you come make an appointment, tour the campus, take the test if you need to, and then you have to be accepted, because you know anyone that walks into the street, walk in from the street, you know, may not be, like I said, may not be a good fit. So you meet with me, you meet with other people, um, other staff members, and then we decide if, you know, we think you're a good fit for us.
Okay. So all your classes, all your certificated classes are accelerated, all of them.
Yes, they're
Wow.
accelerated. Right.
Mhm.
Because you don't, I mean, in my opinion, I was a medical assistant and I went to school for 9 months. And in my opinion, I don't think it takes that long
Okay. Okay.
to be a medical assistant.
Okay. That's good.
And I've taught it for 20 years. So I know
Wow.
that
And
it
what I think
doesn't.
is what I think is so awesome about it is that you've been where they are, so you can,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, that's good.
Yes.
That's
I've
good.
been where they are. Working as a medical assistant for so many years. I know what they need to know.
Yeah.
And they're only going to pay for the program that they're taking. There's nothing extra. We're very honest. This is the price. This is what it covers. So
Okay.
there's no surprise prices at the end. What you see basically is what you get.
Wow.
And I am very proud to say that we are putting out very professional healthcare um, healthcare people. They are getting jobs. They're getting good jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I am proud to say that they are getting jobs. And so I've had a student call me last week that she was hired on extern, so she doesn't have to receive welfare anymore.
Sit right
So
there.
we are
Mhm.
making a difference. I mean,
Yeah.
we can't save everyone,
That's
but the
right.
ones that we can, we will try.
That's good. That's good. That's good, Shar.
Mhm.
The last one is financial aid available through your program.
So no, we don't accept financial aid.
Mhm.
So that's why our motto has always been you can
Mhm.
get a great education debt free and be debt free.
Mhm.
So we do have payment arrangements. We do not accept a financial aid, but we do have a couple of contracts. I have a contract with American Jobs.
Mhm.
So if you qualify for American Jobs or also the welfare to work program.
Mhm.
So if you qualify for those programs, they
Mhm.
will pay for you to go to school.
Wow.
I have other organizations that I'm partnering with the Department of Rehab.
Okay.
So if you qualify for those different programs, they will pay for you to go to school because we do not accept financial aid. So when you choose to come to our program, you are paying for your education.
That's
You
good.
are truly paying for your education, and you want to be there.
Okay.
And so I don't think I would probably ever accept financial aid because I want it to be affordable.
That's good.
I want it to be affordable. I mean, I
Mhm.
don't want anyone to have to pay $18,000, $19,000
Mhm.
for to become a medical assistant that the classes are not transferable
Mhm.
and you may only make minimum wage. So why would I want you to be in debt $18,000, $19,000 and you're only going to make minimum wage?
Wow.
So I don't want that for anyone. And so we make our prices affordable. We also have payment arrangements, and we work with you because we want you to be successful.
Yeah.
We really want you to be successful. And there's a lot of people that go in debt,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
default because they don't have the jobs to pay for it. And that's not the case where we are.
That's good, Shar. That's good. Could you name those different companies that you said if they qualify for it, that they will get their schooling paid?
So it's the program that's called Welfare to Work.
Okay.
So we work with American Jobs.
Mhm.
So you can just go to Cal Jobs and you start that process
Mhm.
online by filling out the application. Same thing with the Department of Rehab.
Okay.
If you through the Department of Rehab, then you probably have an intake person or a counselor. So
Okay.
so that's where you will start, and or you can just make your payment arrangements to do
Mhm.
so if you don't qualify for those programs. A lot of those programs are based on income. So, if
Right.
you're not low income, you may not qualify for those programs.
Okay.
But, I would apply and see. All they can tell you is no. And we've all heard that before,
Yeah.
And so if they tell you no, then come over, talk to us, and we'll see what we can do to help you.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. We're going to ask our audience over in the chat line if you have any questions for Shar. We're going to take their questions now. You can ask her anything. She is giving us the whole gamut of how she started, why she started, and how young she was when she started thinking about it. So if you have any questions, please ask any questions.
Yes.
Please, please, please. It is a real okay. If we don't have a question, but we have some comments over here that I'm putting to get some questions. Let's see. I'm gonna put Marie on here. It is a real need for medical assistants. They are making good money.
Is that that's Marie?
Ruffin.
Oh, I would like to say thank you to Marie. Marie has hired all of my students. Thank you so much, Marie.
That is great. Here's another something she said. Oops. Show it again. You laid the foundation for a great learning experience.
Thank you.
Oh, well, that's great. That's great. Let's see if we have anyone else here. I don't think we have. Let's see.
There was something else I wanted to share that I'm working on. It's called the entrepreneur class.
Okay.
So those that want to go into business, but you don't know how, you don't know what to do.
That's
so
good.
Stay tuned that we will be offering our entrepreneur class.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Entrepreneur class. And we need it in Bakersfield.
Yes.
We do. We do. Okay, this is Rachel Hubbard.
Thank you, Rachel.
Any questions, ladies? Let's see. I need to take that class.
All of us.
Well, you know what? It's very important because people open up businesses, you know, in their industry, and they know how to do the art, but they don't know the things behind it. Right. They don't know the business part of running a business. And I didn't know myself. So I thought, oh my gosh, you know, I just want to teach, but what? Talking about payroll taxes and you know, workers' comp insurance, you know, general liability. What are you talking about? You know? And so because I didn't have anyone to help me and answer those questions, I want to offer that to whoever decide they want to open a business, just kind of so yes, you may be a cosmetologist and you do really well, but what are you doing with your money?
Right.
When you make it, you know? And so those are the things that we want to teach in that class, that how to business 101, you know, how to be a successful business person.
That's good. That's good. Because we do open these businesses and not knowing,
right.
You know, we'll settle for being the hairdresser, but when you could be the owner.
Exactly.
It's a business sense. You're right. You're right. I think that's great because, especially in Bakersfield, you know, we'll see a lot of side hustles.
Right.
You know, that probably if they had the education of how to become an entrepreneur, they just might go take it a step further, get that business license, do those things that they need. I think that's great. I really do, Shar. I really think that's great to teach them that they can go further than just being the worker in there, but, you know, be the owner.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
That's good.
But you know, you to be an owner and be a successful owner.
Yeah.
Because anyone can own a business.
That's right. But to be successful, you have to know.
You have to know. You have to count your money.
Right. You know how to count it. That's right.
Right.
That's right. Here we go. Shar, are MA encouraged to become certified?
It's required in my program.
Okay.
So it is required. So it's not an option. So if you're going to come to the program, then you're going to be certified, because I feel that there's a lot of medical assistants that want to be certified or they never had the opportunity to be certified. And I think you should be. You know, if you're going to become a medical assistant, then go all the way. Why not be certified? It may make a difference in your pay. You know, and so all of our students are certified before they go on externship. They're all certified, and we proctor the exam through the NHA, so they don't have to go to Fresno or LA.
Wow.
It's proctored right on campus.
That's good. That's good. We're glad to hear that. Do we have any other questions, ladies?
One other thing I wanted to share.
Okay.
I have a staff now, and the two instructors that I have are prior students of mine.
Oh my goodness.
They are prior students, and they are students that that I had that had some struggles.
Wow.
And when I opened up my school, I looked for them. Because when I was their teacher, they made such an impact on my life. They reminded me of, you know, my past and where I came from. And so when I opened up my business, I looked for them. So most of my staff are people that are old students.
Wow, that speaks volumes. That is great.
And may I ask what your enrollment looks like per class? Is it still a small class where everybody can get that personal attention?
Yes, it's small class size. And so we don't usually have more than 15 in a class. And so it's very small. So you get that one-on-one. So classes are Monday through Thursday, 5:30 to 9. And Fridays, there's no class, but we do tutoring, any labs. We call it open lab. So say if, you know, you're going Monday through Thursday and you don't quite understand a concept, you come on Friday. And it's free. As long as you enroll, you come on Friday, any Friday, and we can help you work on that skill, that blood pressure, or whatever it is that you're having issues with during the week. You come on Fridays to open lab, and we're there 9 to 1, and you come in and you work on your skill.
Great.
So there's no reason for anyone to not pass, because every Friday you can have tutoring.
That's good.
And then what about the state certification? Are you is there tutoring for that or?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so our classrooms are like for instance, the medical assistant, they're in class for 12 weeks. But so the end of the 12th week, we do resume workshops where they write their resumes. We do mock interviews. Well, that 13th week is dedicated to studying for the certifying exam. So everything is incorporated in that 17 weeks. And your tuition pays for the first exam. If you're not successful, you have to wait 45 days and you have to pay for the second exam. But we pay for your tuition covers all the first exam, all the study materials.
That's good. We have one more question we have another question from Marie. Are you expanding to have LVNs?
Marie, yes, when you retire and you can come teach it. So we're going to expand when you retire.
All right.
Guess you heard that, Marie. Thank you, Marie, for your questions. She's always faithful with her questions. Is there anything else you want to say, Shar, about your college?
I want to say come by, visit, take a tour. You don't have to make a commitment. You can come by. You can sit in a class that is currently going. Sit and see what they're teaching and see if it's something that you want to do. Try us out. You know, you wouldn't buy a car without test driving. So don't invest in your education without coming to visit and see what we're doing. So I encourage you to do that. And not just for my school, for any school. Go check them out. Go sit and see what they're doing and see if it's something that you like. And so if that's something that you want to do, just call the school let whoever answers the phone know that you want to visit, and you can come in and you can sit in the classroom before you enroll.
That's good. That's good.
Well, I'm just totally impressed. I may not come to enroll, but I definitely want to come out and check out the school, because this is just something that I've never seen here in Kern County. And I'm just extremely proud of you.
Thank you. Well, I would like to invite all three of you ladies to come out and visit. Well, Glenda, you were there. You came
Yeah.
by.
She
Yeah,
didn't invite us.
but I did. What
Right.
happened was, I think you were fixing to leave because your celebration was over.
Right.
And, you were fixing to leave, so I think we took a picture, but I wasn't able to tour the school.
Yeah. So I would love to have you ladies come
Okay.
over and tour the school and see exactly, what we do. We have an open door policy. So totally transparent. Come in, see what we're doing. And I would love to have you ladies come visit.
Absolutely.
I'd
Yes,
love to
let's
see
make that
that.
happen.
Okay.
And I love to see how you're changing lives and what
Yeah.
you do. And you've experienced what they're going through now. And I just love it how you're changing lives and giving them the education they need to make a living.
Thank you. Well, I had this one student. She wanted to enjoy class, but she had tattoos all over her face.
Wow.
So somewhere in her life, she had a rough life and she got tattoos on her face. So she came to visit and she said, I want to come. She said, but look at my face.
Wow.
She said, I have tattoos all over my face. She said, who's going to hire me? And she had just tattoos everywhere. Who's going to hire me? And so I told her, I said, do you have makeup? She said, yeah. I said, well, cover it up. And then I gave her information, because there's a place here in Bakersfield that if you qualify, they will remove your tattoos free.
Wow.
So I gave her the information and I said, here's the information. Call, see if you qualify. I said, but in the meantime, cover it up. Put on some makeup. Put on a long sleeve. Wear a turtleneck. I said, don't let that discourage you.
Yeah.
Don't let it discourage you, And she said, no one's never told me that before. Usually they say, well, you're not going to be able to get a job because you have all those tattoos on your face, And I said, we all have something that can stop us from, not being successful. If we listen to everyone, we would never be,
Right.
And so I said, cover it up with makeup. They have all kind of makeup for tattoos, and then what's on your arm, put on a long sleeve shirt, and so I told her, so if this is what you want to do, then do it, do it. And so she graduated, she got a job, and she came back. She was like, oh my God, Miss Cole, oh my God, thank you so much. And so I said, you know what, this is why I do what I do.
Yes, sir.
Because I am making a difference, because I'm sure with those tattoos on her face, in her younger days, life was probably rough, and I wanted her to know that just because your life was rough when you were younger, it doesn't define your future.
That's right.
It doesn't, so what you want to do about it?
Right.
And so that was one of my success stories.
Great.
That is good.
I love it. I love it.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it too. All right. We're in private chat. What do we got in private chat? Okay. We got 2 minutes left. Okay. All right. If there's not anyone else that's going to ask any questions, Shar, we want to thank you so much. You just hanging there with us. We're going to do a couple of announcements. You were excellent tonight, and congratulations again on your achievement of being the first Black female in Bakersfield. I would say the first Black person in Bakersfield to have a college, a medical college. So I'm so proud of you. I'm just glad that I didn't even have any idea. I think the last time I seen you was, I think you were you had a fashion business.
Yes.
And I think I came out to your home and bought an item. I think
I still love my fashion.
I bet you do. You had the earrings, everything.
Yes.
But to see you, not that was anything lower, but to see you come from there to opening your own college, I just think that's terrific, Shar.
Thank you so much.
You are a businesswoman. You are an entrepreneur.
Thank you. Do you remember our conversation when I said, when you call me, when No Sisters Left Behind call me, I dropped everything.
You drop.
And then I said, you know why? I said, because I was that sister left behind.
Left behind. You said that. You sure did. You sure did. You were their sister left behind. Wow. But look at, what your determination did for you all those years. Somebody probably would have stopped after they said you have to go back the first time. I gotta go to school and do that too.
Right.
Yeah. So
yes.
you did that, Shar.
And I do want to say, I had my two babies at the age of 21. We grew up together.
Yeah.
And I do want to say they're very successful. My oldest daughter is a physician assistant.
Wow.
My middle daughter is, she's a dental hygienist. And my baby is 18 and she's a senior at Centennial.
Oh.
So for them to look at me and say, Mom, we're so proud of you, because I could have just said, forget it. I have these kids and, this is it for me. And so I did all this because I wanted to be their hero. Yeah. I wanted when people say, who do you admire? Who's your hero? I wanted them to say my mom.
Yeah. Wow. That is awesome, Shar. Well, I'm sure they say that plenty of times now.
Yeah. And I say it to them as well. I am so proud of them.
Oh, wow. That is excellent. That's excellent, Shar. We're going to go right into our announcements, and that Pam is going to give us our announcements, and then we're going to close out for the night.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you again for having me.
Oh, you're welcome, Shar. You're welcome, dear. Thank you for coming on and sharing that information. We'll bring you back. And while I have you here, I'm sorry, Shield, but before we let you go, because we don't know if you're going to split on us, and so we have to say, usually our guests, before it's over, they're gone. Like, okay, wait. But anyway, I would like to ask if you would partner with No Sister Left Behind as a partner, that we can use you as a referral.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So one of the things is that we put you as a partner on our website, so that if people come onto our website and they want to know who our partners are, that you would be there. Is that okay?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're going to have our announcements now from Shiv.
Okay.
And hang around for a second.
Okay, I will.
She might want to fight you because you went to Crenshaw. I don't know.
All right, Washington.
Nothing but love. Okay. Our upcoming broadcast that we have, November 13th will be the Black Infant Health Program here on NSLB Live. We will be speaking to two guests from the Black Infant Health Program and discussing that program in our community. November 20th, the program will be about gardening, featuring Bonnie Crowder, an avid gardener, as well as a contributor to NSLB our NSLB bi-monthly newsletter. And we also have Kevin Milburn of Garden Fun with Kevin Milburn on Facebook. Both have a love and a passion for gardening. So tune in, get some tips. As prices go up in the supermarkets, it's time to start gardening once again. I know lots of us did that when we were younger. It's really time to start doing that again. And then we know what's in our garden. We don't have to worry about the pesticides, and it's healthier for us. So please tune in for that. And that's going to be November 20th here, Saturday at 6 p.m. And I do have an announcement. I would like to welcome our friend, our sister, Miss Rachel Hubbard. She is now the No Sister Left Behind secretary, and we're just honored to have her in that position. So, Miss Rachel, welcome.
Welcome, Rachel.
We got some work for you.
Yeah, we do.
Now is usually the time that I talk about membership and how important it is. And I think everyone, if you're listening or if you have listened to our program, you understand the importance of membership. The things that we're doing are trying to accomplish, the things that we are doing and are trying to accomplish here in the community of Bakersfield. Our higher educational empowerment program, we had that today. If you weren't able to come out, please go to our website, take a look at that. You can also catch it on YouTube at No Sister Left Behind, the number 2. So we're trying to really make an impact in our community. But instead of me telling you what membership does, I would like to have you tell us what maybe it has done for you, or maybe a family member or a friend. So if you could maybe type in our comments tonight and tell us how it has maybe impacted you in a positive way, maybe something that you saw on our live show, maybe a quote that you heard that inspired you. If you could do that for us, we would certainly appreciate it. And we're going to share it. We're going to share it probably in our monthly newsletter and throughout the week. So if you can, again, something that maybe has been said or some type of way NSLB has impacted you, has helped you, has maybe made you think differently about your community, has helped you maybe financially, health-wise, all our 7 aspects, socially. Give us a little quote, give us like a line, and we would certainly appreciate that. All right, Miss Glenda. That's all I have.
All right. Well, thank you, Pam. You know, this is my regular line: get vaccinated. The Black community, only 30% of the Blacks, which we're only 6% of the community, have been vaccinated here in Bakersfield, California, or in Kern County. So I want to encourage you to get vaccinated. If you need more information, find out more information. Go to the CDC website and find out about the vaccination. Get true facts. Don't get facts from people that really don't know because they're scared of taking the vaccine. Go and get the vaccine facts for yourself. So I want to encourage you to get the vaccine. I am tired of going to funerals with people passing away. I'm not saying that you know, that you should get it because of that, but you should really look into the real facts about COVID and make a righteous judgment on your own. When I ask people, why haven't you taken the vaccine, they really don't have a good excuse. It's just that I just haven't taken it and I don't know what it is. But you know what? Check it out for yourself. Get as much information as you can for yourself and see what the vaccine is all about. So try to get vaccinated and encourage others to get vaccinated as well. So Pam has already done our call to action. So again, I want to thank our guest tonight, Shar Cole, for being on and being a part of this program. We love you, Shar, and now you partnering with us. We feeling good. We feeling good. So we thank you so much. Marie has something down here. She says, "Get vaccinated." And what you say, Marie? Let me. I'm coming to you. I'm coming.
Oh, booster.
Please get vaccinated and your booster shot. That's good. Thank you. If you've already been vaccinated, go back and get that booster shot. Thank you so much, Marie. And Vera said, I'm boosted up. I'm boosted up. So anyway, ladies, thank you so much to our audience that came out tonight. We thank you so much for supporting NSLB Live. It's all we are doing is trying to give you education to make righteous decisions and to thrive in life. That's all we ask. So we want to thank you for being on. I thank my Vice President, Pam. I call her Shug, but Pam, I thank her. And I thank my sister, Linda Factory, for being on with us tonight. Again, Shar, thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you. Good night, everyone. Have a good evening.
Share, please share.
Share, because we can still repeat this over again. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
Let me see.